Okay, Twyla Reed Rams, I want to talk about rounding in math. This might be a term that you haven't heard before. So what is rounding? Today, in this video, we're going to round to the nearest 10. Rounding is a way to make adding and subtracting easier. You choose digits close to a number to make it easier or quicker to do calculations like adding, subtracting, multiplying. Let's say I want to add the numbers 23 and 58. I can do it on paper and write 23 plus 58 equals 81 and arrive at an answer. But a faster way to do this, to do some mental math, would be to add 20 and 60 and say that my answer was about 80. We say about because it's not exactly 80, it was about 80. It's easier to do mental math when there are zeros in the ones place. We call these numbers with a zero in the ones place multiples of 10. Multiples of 10 are all the numbers in this row right here. And my hundreds start from 10 all the way to 100. All of these with a zero in the ones place, they're called multiples of 10. But how do you know which multiple of 10 to round to? Do you go to the lower number with the zero or the higher number with the zero? Here are the steps to knowing where to round to. If you're trying to round to the nearest 10, find the digit in the tens place, look to the right. In this case, you'll be looking at the ones. If the digit in the ones place is 1, 2, 3, or 4, you would go to the lower number with a 0. The tens that is before your number. But if the digit in the ones place is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then you go to the next number with a 0. Let's practice. Round the number 32 to the nearest 10. So here's 32. What are my two choices? First, I decide which two tens is this between. 32 is between, I go before 30, and then I go after 40. So it's between 30 and 40. That's what 32 is between. I remember the rules, and I look to the right in the ones place, and there's a 2 there, right here. I've underlined it in red. And I remember that if in the ones place it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, then I go back. I go to the lower number with a 0. So because of this 2, I'm going to go back lower to the 30. 32 is rounded to 30 because of the 2 in the ones place. Let's do 78. You're working along and the problem says round the number 78 to the nearest 10. Here's 78. I've underlined the 8. Because I'm rounding to the nearest 10, I go to the tens, I look to the right, there's an 8, and I remember the rules. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then I go up. So I'm going to round up to 80 because of the 8. Up to 80. I know that 78 is between 70 and 80, and it's going to be one of those. Because of the 8, I went to the higher choice. Let's do 16. First, decide which two tens your number is between. So 16 is between 10 and 20. I look to the tens, I look to the right, I check the ones. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, I'm going to go to the higher number with a 0. So that's 20. Let's round 89 to the nearest 10. What do I do first? look here, before I say the answers, you decide which two tens would be on the sides of 89. What is 89 between? Which of these digits, numbers I should say, which of these numbers are on the sides of 89? What would it be between? Did you say 89 was between 80 and 90? If you did, you were correct. We look at the 9. If the numbers are 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, I go up. So we went up, and 90 would be the answer to round 89 to the nearest 10. Look at all of these samples. Pause the video if you need to and decide which tens would be on either side of this. So if I find 76, right here, the first one, 76 would be between, I'm going to go back to the lower number, 70, and then I go to the higher one, and 80. It would be between 70 and 80. And go all the way down, pause the video, and see if you can choose which tens would be on either side of your digit. On either side of your number, I should say. So there I put the numbers in yellow, and I chose all the before tens, the tens that would come before. So before 76, you'd have a 70. Before 54, the previous 10 would be a 50, and all the way down. And then here, I put the number that would come after. I should say the tens that would come after. Is this what you said? Now, if I was going to round to the nearest 10, these would be the answers. I circled them in red. Rounding to the nearest 10. So because of this 6, I went up. Because of the 4, I went down. Because of this 2, I went down. And on and on. All of these shaded numbers, you would go down, because if you look here, all the digits, I should say, in the ones place are 1, 2, 3, or 4. So for all of these, I would go to the lower number with a 0 in it. For all of these, there's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 in the ones place. For any of those, I would go up to the next 10 with a 0 in it. Here's some samples. I'm going to go quickly. My video can't be too long. You pause the video and see if you can round 63 to the nearest 10. Pause the video, look at the hundreds chart. What would you choose? 37, 48, 88, 18, 42, 96, 14, 95. Okay, boys and girls, that's all I have for this video. We'll practice some more rounding in the future. This will be something that you'll see at the beginning of 3rd grade. So practice rounding. Use your math words like estimating. Make sure you know your tens, your ones, and see if you can round a number to the nearest 10.